Okay, I think that we're going to get started. My name is Maggie Spear. I'm Assistant Director of Admission at the Hartt School, which is behind me today on my lovely Zoom call. I am going to give a really brief introduction to the individuals on this call, and then we're going to take it away and learn a little bit more about voice at the Hartt School. So I will start with our student panel. We have Anna, who is a vocal performance and music ed double major. Oh man, I got it wrong already. That's Grace. See, they tell me these things. I can't even write them down right. I'm going to let them introduce their majors now that I've already slipped up in the first 3 minutes of this program. But we have Anna, Zach, Ellie, and Grace. We are also joined with Robin from the Bates House, which is University of Hartford admission, because the Hartt School is part of the University of Hartford. And then we have Dr. TK with us today to lead off our session. So if you have any questions, there is a Q&A section. We'll be answering those either in writing or we're going to hold off to the end and answer a few of them live. There's also the chat feature. But if you do have questions, put those in the Q&A so that everyone can see them, and that'll be more helpful. So without further ado, Dr. TK.
All right, so welcome everybody, and we're just very excited to be here to talk to you a little bit about the vocal division at the Hartt School. As Maggie was saying, let's go ahead and get the majors, because as you're thinking of questions, you might be formulating questions to a specific person who is in a specific major. So Grace, do you want to go ahead and unmute and tell us your major and your year while you're at it?
Hello everyone, my name is Grace. I am a junior. I major in music education and vocal performance. I am a double major. It's a 5-year program, which means I started as a freshman in 2018 and I will graduate in 2023.
That makes me really happy, by the way, that you're going to be around that long. That's good. Anyway, Ellie, why don't you go next?
Hi, I'm Ellie. I am a sophomore vocal performance major with a minor in performing arts management.
Fantastic. And Zach?
How's it going? My name is Zach. I'm a music production and technology major and vocal emphasis.
Amazing. Music technology, so something a little bit different. Okay, Anna?
Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a junior. I'm a vocal music education major. Brilliant.
So it's 4 amazing people that are here. They're all 4 in the choir, so they sing in the Hartt choirs. And we're just here to talk to you a little bit about the vocal program. In case you didn't know this, I'm new. This is my first year here. So I actually don't know a ton. That's okay though, because we have people here who can answer some questions. But I will tell you about where we're going with the choral programs and some of the other things that we have going on for us. So let me go ahead and share my screen with everybody, if I can find that. And okay, so again, my name is Dr. Anthony Teresa King. This is, again, my first year here at the Hartt School. And I'm just excited to be here to join the Hartt School and to join the fabulous students that are here. Obviously, it was a hard time making this transition in the middle of a pandemic, but we're doing the best that we can to provide a good experience for all the singers, both individually and collectively while we're on campus. And I'll be happy to answer more questions about what we're doing during the time of COVID, with certainly some of the restrictions that we have placed upon us, rightfully so. Next slide. So at the Hartt School, in the vocal division, there's a true foundation of singing. And there's many different ways in which you can intersect with singing at the Hartt School. First of all, every vocal music major is required to sing in choir. And sometimes you think, well, this is a requirement. Oh, darn it, I don't really want to sing in choir. But as the world is kind of evolving, the professional choral world is a route for singers. So if you're looking at being a vocalist, it's good to diversify what it is that you might want to experience beyond this, because not everybody is built for the opera world, either vocally or just emotionally, or it's just not something they prefer to do. But singing chorally or recital singing, maybe musical theater is something that interests you, or there's a growing commercial voice program here at the Hartt School. So we're trying to provide you with a foundation that is eclectic and gives you an opportunity to experience many different modalities of singing, so that when you do make a decision of this is the direction I want to go with my life, that you have a strong background and a foundation that will support you through that. You're seeing here one of my colleagues, Benjamin Rausch, Professor Rausch, that's the smiling guy at the front. Is one of the other choral directors here at the Hartt School, and this is a recording project in which they were engaged in last year. So why Hartt? And I'm asking this as a question for me. So one of the reasons why they asked me to take on this presentation is, why did I select Hartt and why am I here? And so this is kind of my three things. You'll notice a theme. There's a lot of alliteration in my presentation today. I don't know why, but it's just the way I've been working. First of all, it's the people. I was attracted to the Hartt School because of the people. The recruitment process for me and the audition process and the interviewing, I was able to intersect, obviously, first of all, with the faculty and the search committee. And I was captivated by what they were telling me about the Hartt School, and also not only from a reputation standpoint, but about where they want the Hartt School to be going in the future. How the Hartt School and music intersects with our community has become increasingly important. And obviously, we're not able to get into the community as much as we can if it wasn't a pandemic, but it's a high priority for this organization. It's something that I'm highly interested in, making sure that we're not just creating music for ourselves and it's in a self-contained little area on campus, but that we're able to spread this out. And I think that the choral music program is going to be at the vanguard of this because of our ability to sing different styles of music and be attractive to a wide variety of people. The other thing, the next thing is the program. So first is people. Next is the program. There's enough flexibility built in within this program for any singer that they're able to kind of craft their own experience. And you're going to hear from, again, 4 different students who are on 4 different paths, but they also intersect with each other. And so the program here at the Hartt School is really attractive to me. And I'm excited about what we're going to be doing with the choral programs moving forward. We're hoping to double the number of students that are in the choral program, increase the number of performances both on campus and off campus, increase the diversity of programming and music that we're focusing on. So it's really quite exciting. And the best part about the program is that we're going to design it with the students. So it's not just the administration or the faculty saying, here, students, here's what we want you to be doing, but we're asking for feedback and help with designing the program moving forward. So if you decide to join the Hartt School, we're not going to be fully formed by next year. It's going to be a great time for you to get in and to let us know how you want us to shape the program moving forward. The final thing that I'll say why I chose the Hartt School is the product. It's just quality singing. The talent here is high. The individual talent is high. And that's exciting for me as a director to be working with such talented individuals, not only talented, but smart, so high IQ. And they produce a quality product through and through. And this is not just in the Hartt School music vocal division, but also the orchestra, the band, getting outside of music, theater, and dance. All of the programs here are such a high quality, and that's going to allow for some really interesting things to happen here on campus. So singing at Hartt, one of the things that you'll notice here at Singing at Hartt, we have the 3 C's here. One is community. You're going to notice really quickly the community that is created. First of all, look at the picture. They're hugging. They actually like each other. It's not about competition. It's about creating community and how can we help each other grow. Next is connection. You're going to form connections and bonds with each other within choir that will be stronger and will feed your soul beyond the Hartt School. So I'm aware of some Hartt students, alums of the school, and I just noticed how well they're still connected. And that has surprised me. So when I was looking into taking this job, I called a few of my friends who had studied at the Hartt School, and I noticed that they're still connected with people who are at the Hartt School, but also connected with other Hartt alums. So you're launching yourself into this broader community, and you're creating new connections for you. The final thing about singing at the Hartt School, and I think that this is true in the past, but it's going to be even more true in moving forward, is collaboration. We're going to collaborate with a lot of different people, and it's not just with other musicians. It's going to be collaborating with the School of Dance, collaborating with music theater. We're already talking today, Anna and I were talking about collaborating with the art school and bringing in folks from the art school to collaborate with what we're doing here with the Hartt choirs. So it's just kind of an exciting place to be and an exciting place to kind of join, because the entrepreneurial spirit is rich and it's new, and it's a great time to come into a program that hasn't quite established but is moving in a slightly new direction. Make sure that you do add comments, because our folks are looking at the chat, and if you have questions, please ask those questions. And I tend to not look at the questions. So if any one of the singers want to jump in with something that's really important, just unmute yourself and jump in. Let's talk specifically about the Hartt choirs. Many of you are in choral programs because this is your major outlet to sing in high school. You know, my background is with working with children and youth choirs before I came to the Hartt School, also working with professional choirs as well. So I kind of like looking at the entire gamut. But here at the Hartt School and Hartt choirs, I was so happy to see this little acronym, mind, body, and soul. That's not my words. That's the Hartt School students' words. And it perfectly maps on how I think about choirs and what a choir should be doing in today's day and age. So mind, body, and soul. The first thing is mind. When you're at the Hartt School, we're going to engage your mind. And we're going to engage your mind not only on music and musicianship and sight reading and those sorts of things, but we're going to ask you to think about the world in which we live, and then be responsive to that. So, you know, obviously we're aware of the many things that our country is currently going through. We're not going to shy away from those discussions within the choral context, and use that as an opportunity to develop ourselves as human beings. Because the most important thing I think we can do when you leave this campus is that you're a better human being. And that we send you off into the world equipped to be able to make the world into something that you would like it to be. It's not for us to kind of instill a political ideology or a specific view. It doesn't mean I don't have one, but I want you to be able to learn to articulate that and to be in a way with your peers that is supportive and that it encourages conversation versus shutting down conversation. Because right now we're in a world in which conversation doesn't happen. See the presidential debate. Right. This is something that is very important to me, and I think is important to the students as well. So your mind is first. Next is your body. This is a picture of our rehearsal 2 days ago. In our rehearsal, we're rehearsing only outside, just so you know, with masks on and socially distant. But we brought over the head of dance, Professor Stephen Peer, to work with us on movement and getting our bodies to be engaged with singing. In today's day and age, again, if you're completely disconnected with your body as a singer, then you're missing an opportunity to express yourself in a way that is beyond just your voice. We are visual. We like to go to concerts. We like to watch concerts. And I think the concert where people just stand there and just only sing is something of the past. So we are working actively to instill a body sensitivity and using the body as an expressive art and expressive palette to get out the emotions that we're trying to portray in the music. And so in order to do that, we have to train. And so this is us training. It's something we'll be doing every year. So Dr. Peer and or his colleagues will be coming in for us this fall weekly. But as we move forward, it's going to be a regular thing so that we can develop a deep, rich palette of expression using just our bodies. And finally, it's our souls. You know, we're all emotional beings as humans, and I want us to learn to emote those out and develop a deep connection to the music itself. So why is it that we're singing this as a collective? That's great, but why is it that you as an individual are singing? And what's the story that you're trying to tell? This is an example of storytelling. I believe in creating emotionally immersive singing experiences. And so, you know, using lighting, staging, acting as a way to kind of convey this, but more importantly, it's the connection to the soul. And if you're looking at this picture, you can see the singers are deeply connected to what it is that they're trying to sing about. Some of them can't even see what they're looking at. And if you want to know what they're looking at, what's the picture, I certainly can give it to you a little bit later, but the soul is wildly important to me as we move forward. So that's my quick 15 minutes of fame, and I'm going to stop my share and come back to you eventually, and to see if anybody has any questions for me at this moment. So So here's a question. I'll answer this live. Due to COVID, are there any special choir projects happening? Yes. It's kind of a work in progress. And so with me coming in new, I needed to figure out what is it that the choir can currently do, and then what are the skills that I need to teach them to us to move forward. So we're going to focus on skill building versus actual performances, because as you know, we can't give any live performances with a live audience. So the first thing that we're doing is we're learning how to record ourselves better, so we can do individual recording sessions. And this is a skill that every singer, every musician, quite frankly, is going to need moving forward, is how do I record myself so that I can put together a really good audition tape, or put together a really good, EP, if that's something that I need to do. So the recording skill is something that we all need. So we already had a session on recording, and we're going to begin practicing that session recording technique throughout the semester. So coming this week, at the end of the week, all the singers will have an assignment to record Bach chorale individually, and then we're going to put that together into a recording project, and we'll kind of release that to the world. We'll do other recording projects this year, which include video as well. So a lot of recording projects, and we're looking at some opportunities to do some pop-up performances, not an invited audience, but an audience that is on campus for our campus community. So singing outside the administration building, singing outside. So basically just doing some things so we can raise awareness of the chorus of the chorus on campus. Now, again, due to COVID, we're only going to sing outside. We have the option to sing inside, but for myself and for the other singers, I'm not sure we're comfortable doing that with the spread of COVID. So outside with masks on and distance is going to be our modality for performing COVID. The other time of the week, we're having rehearsals online. So today was an online rehearsal session. It's not a lot of singing online, but a lot of discussion and kind of building skills through that modality. So great question. And again, singers, if you have more to add, jump in. What are the performance opportunities like for underclassmen and upperclassmen? Okay, let's see. Anna, do you want to answer that question? She's getting there.
Yes,
there
sorry, I was looking at a question someone asked me privately. But okay, so basically it depends really what major you are. So if you're only music education major, then what you can do is any year, just underclassmen and upperclassmen, of course, there's choir. And right now I know that Dr. TK says they're working on doing more performances besides just the fall concert and the spring concert. And then also what you can do if you're trying to look a little outside of Hartt, we have a lot of performance clubs that you can join as well. But so for example, we have a cappella, we have gospel choir, and we have a lot of things like that, which you can find on the club website. And then also if you are a vocal performance major, and Grace and Ellie, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but if you're an underclassman, you are doing stage crew for the opera when you're a freshman. And then sophomore to senior year, you can audition for the opera, and it changes every single year. So like, for example, last year we did De Fledermaus, which is like it's a comedy. It was really funny. I saw it. Everyone was amazing who was in it. And then also, if you are music ed, you still can audition for the opera too, which is something that's really cool because it gives you an opportunity to, even if you don't get a role, you can still be in the ensemble for that. Yeah, so definitely it really depends what you're looking for. If you mostly just want like choral performances and stuff, then definitely go those routes. But if you want more of like something a little pop, something just outside of Hartt, then I would definitely recommend doing the clubs.
To elaborate a little bit more on that too, there are always different recitals going on throughout Hartt. It's a little bit different now, obviously, because of COVID, but I know they just recently had Schubertiad, which is where anybody who wants to can get up and sing a Schubert piece. And you can do that at any grade level, whatever. I was a freshman last year and I was like, can I do this? Like, am I allowed to do this? And they were like, yeah, of course. But one of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give is to ask, are there any performance opportunities coming up? If you talk to Doris Lane Kozloff, the head of the vocal department, if you literally just walk in her office or send her an email and be like, are there any performances coming up that I would be able to either help out at or perform at? and she'll be like, yes, here's this and this and this, and you can just do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, Doris Kosloff, again, Professor Kosloff is the head of the vocal division, and she's awesome. Quite frankly, she's one of the major reasons why I'm here. So she's amazing, absolutely amazing, and is energetic and is always looking for performances and finding ways to get people on stage and singing. So the more you only get better at performing by performing. You just have to do it and do it a lot.
Also, Doris runs Opera Connecticut off campus. And then Dr. Feartech is on the board of Hartford Opera. So there are plenty of opportunities off campus as well, church jobs, anything like that.
Great. Grace, do you want to talk about the vocal performance audition process?
Yeah. So when I was a senior in high school, I applied as a vocal performance major at first, and then the day of the audition, I decided to do the evaluation for music education. But I'll talk about the vocal performance part of the process now, because that's what we're here for. So I believe, I'm not exactly sure if I'm getting the numbers right, but I think you have to prepare 3 songs, and one of them has to be in a language. So my senior year of high school, I performed an Italian aria and an English art song. That's usually the standard of what the voice faculty usually wants out of a high school senior. And usually you have to prepare 3, but that's usually like the rule, but in all honesty, you're probably gonna only sing 2, unless they really want to hear you sing a 3rd. And then there's a sight reading component. And then after the sight reading component, which is in the audition room, you're going to have to take a music theory exam. And that will kind of gather what music theory level you'll be placed in, which is either for freshman fundamentals, like the beginnings of music theory, or diatonic, which is like a level beyond the level beyond fundamentals. So that's like the process of audition day for vocal performance.
So things this year are by nature going to look a little differently. We are taking the health and safety of both you and your families, as well as our students, faculty, and their families very seriously. So actually auditions this year, as much as we'd love for you to be able to enter a room and sing with 3 people, will be happening actually via recording. So going back to Dr. TK's thing about learning to record yourself in a positive light, those 3 songs that you will record will be uploaded actually with your application. So you can start your application at any time through the University of Hartford online portal. When you go through that process and you're filling it out, there'll be a portfolio aspect for as a Hartt student. In that, you'll upload your 3 recordings, and those will then be reviewed by a panel remotely in different spaces. And they'll discuss you and your performance as they would if they were in person. And that will be step 1. Pending admission to the Hartt School, we're working on what it could look like in terms of a virtual scholarship day come this spring, because we are waiting to see and being mindful of our health and safety. So with these recordings, we're hoping we're going to put out some samples shortly, just to show that it doesn't have to be fancy. Please don't go to a recording studio and pay thousands of dollars for your audition video for Hartt. They're going to see your phrasing and your intonation and your talent and your timing from a recording that can be done on an iPhone. It's true, it can be done. It's happening every day. Dr. TK can talk a little bit more about that, but please, this is really to see where you are at this point in time in your development. So it will be done and uploaded. If you do apply prior to November 1, all fees are being waived for the University of Hartford. So if you want to save yourself a couple dollars, save your parents a couple dollars in the very expensive application process, please submit early.
That's great. I want to go back to one of the questions. Matisse, you asked, are music theater or actor training majors allowed to audition? The answer is 100% yes. And there's has been some structural barriers to this happening, but I was able to work some things out. And I was actually officially able to work some things out, which is kind of awesome, like officially. So now, yeah, the doors are flung wide open to get people into the program. So if you're a music theater major, feel free to sing in the choir. We want everybody to sing in the choir. Come on. Awesome. Do we have, I have no idea, what is scholarship day? Is there a scholarship day?
So Scholarship
That's
Day is something pre-COVID that would happen where students who were already accepted with an initial scholarship would be invited back actually to the University of Hartford for a special day. In this day, they would participate with other accepted students and a panel of faculty with the possibility of earning additional scholarship on top of what their initial offer already was. So what we're looking to do is how can we engage students, have that opportunity, possibly have interviews and an additional panel this spring, since we do lose a little bit of that face time in our process this year. So more details coming.
Let me jump over to Zach. Can you tell us about like life on campus as a student?
Yeah, of course. Don't laugh. No, I honestly, I would have to say I'm very, very happy to be on campus, even with everything happening, just because I enjoy campus life so, so much. And I think a big part of that is because I missed all my friends here. I miss the food. And just one thing that when I came and did a tour of campus and a tour of the Hartt School, I don't know how to explain it, but you really just realize how good it feels. And I know that's like subjective, but like I felt so at home. And it's like one of those things where people say like, like when you've picked the right school, and like you really know, like I was able to come when classes were going on and like seeing people in the hallways and just walking around. Everyone seemed really like friendly. And one thing specifically about Hartt is how much of a family everyone seemed. And like coming to campus, like it was 100% true. Like everyone is such a family here. And there's, even though that COVID is a thing, we're still able to do a lot of things while like following all the rules and guidelines by the CDC. Like Anna, she's right there. And there's still so much you can do, and I would say that I'm still having such a good time here. Classes are great. There's a lot that is going well. So
That's amazing. Good. Maggie, there was where will these details be posted? Just so we can kind of get that to them.
Yep, so
I'm assuming it's about the audition.
I assume that this is either about Scholarship Day or auditions. So the auditions are already up live on our website. You can go to hartford.edu/Hartt, and then you can go to the admission page, and you can find all of the details about what voice audition requirements are. That is all on the website already. It's also, when you go to fill out your application, it'll pop up and share with you what your requirements are depending on your major. So I know Zach has mentioned that he is commercial music or commercial voice versus Grace, who's a double major, versus Anna. So there are different requirements depending on your program. In terms of scholarship dates, those are being worked out. They will be emailed directly to admitted students.
Good. Okay. So, Ellie, why'd you choose the Hartt School?
I chose the Hartt School because of the people. That's honestly the biggest part of it for me. When I came and visited to do, I did an open house on campus back when I was a senior in high school, and then when I came for my audition, and once I got all the information, when I found out I got accepted, I was able to meet a lot of the professors here, and I really connected with a lot of them, especially Doris. She was the one I talked to the most when I came to the school for both pieces of that. And she was I was really nervous, obviously, because it's an audition and auditions make people nervous. And she's so funny, one of the funniest people ever. And she just seemed to be like it's not the right word to say she didn't care that like we had never met before, but it didn't phase her. She just talked to me like a normal person, not like a young kid student, just like a face-to-face conversation. And that's what I've come to find with all of my professors. And one thing that I know that we're always told in high school is like, your college professors won't accept you acting this way. Your college professors aren't going to give you a extension, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, they're going to be tough. They're going to be harsh. And that was something that was an expectation I had during my college application process, but I've come to find that is so not true at Hartt. I don't know if it's like that anywhere else at other colleges. I'm sure like Harvard, they probably are, but at Hartt, the teachers are so understanding, forgiving. They want to know you as a person, not just a student. They want to know if something's wrong, especially your private teachers. My private teacher is Dr. Feartech. She's also Grace's private teacher. And I can't say enough amazing things about her. And that's what I've heard the same way for all of the private voice teachers, that they are like a guide for you going through not only your program, but kind of navigating life as a new college student and then life into the real world. And it's really comforting to have those people who you know are on your side no matter what.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm not on any of your all's side. I'm kidding. We have fun here. In case you don't know, I'm always going to have a good time. There was a question because of COVID, should you still reach out for a lesson? Yes, absolutely. We're all becoming well versed at teaching lessons over online. I teach four of my conducting students online, and then one in person. So, everybody, all the teachers are ready to do it online. And since you can't come onto campus yet, that's still right? Yeah. So it's going to have to be online, but you can get a lot done in an online vocal lesson. So that is absolutely fine. Please reach out for that, Maggie.
So there are limited tours available if you would like to come onto campus. They are capped, being mindful of health and safety, and we do check where you're coming from. So depending on where you're coming from, there are some pretty strict travel bans in effect for Connecticut right now, and we are honoring those. So please be mindful of that. But if you want to come for a campus tour, those are available, but there will be no in-person lessons during this time. And there
Great.
was, I think that the other students can answer pretty well how Hartt interacts with
right.
diversity as a whole.
So Anna, before I get to that question, so tell me, what surprised you most about the Hartt School?
So definitely going into music school, I was really expecting, from what other people told me, from what my music teachers at high school told me, for it to be extremely competitive. You don't really make friends with your major because it's just like, oh, I want to be better than you. I want this job. I want to be the soloist here, et cetera, et cetera. So I was expecting that when I got here, but it is the complete opposite than what everyone told me. Like I said, I'm a music education major, and I've never met more supportive people in my year, like ever. Everyone's just really like, for example, today in conducting class, we were doing our rounds, which is where we just conduct a song. So we were conducting like My Country 'Tis of Thee, and everyone was just going like, you got this, like you did such a wonderful job. Like everyone's just always supporting each other. I have never seen anyone tear someone down in order to make themselves better, or in general, honestly. So definitely coming into Hartt, like definitely still a very high quality program. Definitely, there's still like you have to audition for stuff and people get things over other people, of course, but it's never in spite. No one's going to be upset about that kind of thing. And like Ellie was saying, of course, it's surprising how supportive our professors are. Every single one of my professors has worked with me if I've had an issue, or if I needed extra support, they were always there for me. And that's something that you definitely want to take advantage of, so you can help. It helps you like keep going in college if you get extra stressed out or anything like that. So like Ellie typed into the chat, just everyone's a family, and that's something that I usually don't. I'm like, oh, okay, sure, but like it actually is, and definitely it's something that will help you.
Yeah, and you notice on my PowerPoint, my slide deck, collaboration, right? It didn't say competition; it said collaboration, and what you establish here in your undergrad is a network of people who will then support you for the rest of your career. There are people under my undergraduate and my master's and my doctorate program that I rely on right now, and the Hartt community beyond, the Hartt campus in the alumni base is a great way for you to grow your network and to create those connections you need to be successful as a career artist. So that's great point. Okay, so who wants to take, how much does the Hartt School interact with the university, like the University of Hartford? Okay, Zach, and then Ellie.
That's a great question. I would say definitely we already interact with them a lot, but we definitely have lots of opportunities where we can interact with them more. I think that specifically we do, it's a little different right now, obviously, but we usually do like open mics and stuff, and those are always open to like the entire student body and stuff. And I know that during spring fling and like events, there's like something called Hawktober, which happens. There's all these events, and they have concerts and stuff that actually go on right in the lawn right here. Like I think the stage is usually literally right there. And people just come and sit on the lawn, and most likely it's Hartt students, but it can really be anyone. And I think one thing you'll realize is that, like, yes, we're Hartt students, we're all musicians, but there are so many musicians that are just university students as well. And I would say I'll talk about a cappella again too. Like I think, yeah, all of us are in an a cappella group, all the students here. And there are people in these groups that aren't Hartt majors. So, and same with like the idea of having non-Hartt majors join choirs. I think that's such an awesome idea. And I think that if we continue to have that mindset, like the bond between the university and the Hartt students will become closer and closer. But there's definitely still so many opportunities that we can get rid of that line, if there even is a line. So,
There's such an advantage of being at an institution that actually it's not a standalone conservatory. And those are great. They are really fantastic, and it fits for you, and that's wonderful. But when you're here, you could then, let's interact with the business school. Let's interact with over here in science and engineering. It gives you an opportunity to explore other things. And that's, for me, I fully believe that's what an undergraduate should be, is it allows you to explore and just have contact in other areas, because that's the way you're doing the right thing. My undergrad I was an engineering and music major, and I stopped doing engineering because I realized that's not what I wanted to do. I actually didn't want to be a musician at all, but they gave me a scholarship, so they forced me, so I had to do it. But I was glad because it ended up having that contact at a university gave me an opportunity. Ellie, you can jump in, and then we're buzzing with questions, which is awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much of this time because I know we have a lot of other great questions. But what Zach said, a lot of what he said is kind of what I was going to say too. Another thing is that there's a lot of clubs, and a new initiative that we're working on is that we want more non-music students to be a part of choir, which I think is amazing. I always loved when there was like an engineering student in choir, and I was like, that's awesome, because a lot of people have passions in high school that they're not able to continue on as a career in college. So it's awesome that they have that opportunity. And just if you join other clubs, something I've noticed is, so I'm in an improv group on campus called Stop Laughing Mom, and meeting the people in those other clubs, you can be like, hey, we've got a concert going on, like you should come. And then you can say to your friends at Hartt, hey, we've got an improv show going on. And then you can just like make friendships throughout all those clubs versus like your major. It's really cool.
That's awesome. Zach, you were to answer one of those questions.
Yes. So the question was, do Hartt students tend to live with each other in first year housing? And so that's yes and no. Um, Usually first year live, well, I shouldn't say usually, it's the first year students live in the comp neighborhoods or Hawk Hall, and they're two-person dorms. I think they do have some single dorms as well. Um, and what I've experienced is that usually, yes, you will room with a Hartt student because one, you'll join like this little a Facebook page or something, and you're just looking for people that you think you would vibe well with if you are going in without knowing anyone. And I during scholarship day last year, that's how I met my roommate because we were both music production majors, and we were like, hey, we should just room together, and it turned out really well. We're actually rooming again this year, so it's awesome because you can do work together, you can practice ear training, you can rehearse and like have great musician feedback. But you're also at the same time not required to room with a Hartt student. It's also great to connect with people outside of the Hartt school too. Um, so it's really up to you. There's no requirement to room with someone in your major or someone in your school. So it's definitely up to you.
Awesome. Maggie, we're short on time, I think, but there's that question about the Common App.
It is. So when you complete your Common App, what it'll do is you will get an email saying these are the additional requirements that you need from the University of Hartford, and that will bring you to your online portal where you can upload the rest of that information. So you can definitely start in a Common App and then complete your application through our online portal.
Yay.
Yay.
Do we have other questions?
Yeah, are there other relevant, important, burning questions? Ooh, the silence.
Well, this was fun. We should do it again sometime.
Tomorrow, I'm doing jazz, 5 o'clock.
Nice. Oh, Grace. Oh, you're so studious. Hand up. That's so great.
Can I give, before we go, can I just give my words of wisdom on the college application process?
Yes.
It'll be very, very quick. I wrote down 3 points. There is no one size fits all. Each person that goes through the process has a different view of like what they want. And if you don't know what you want initially, just be patient. It will come to you. I didn't have a top choice. So in some ways it really broadened me to what I wanted, to what did I actually want. So just be patient. The answer will come. Be authentic. Be as real as possible. People like real people. People like when you're themselves. And it's super fun. And it's super fun to get to know someone for who they genuinely are. And the last point I will make before we head out, because I know people are leaving, if you don't like the decision that you've made about what school you're going to, nothing's permanent. I know a bunch of people that have transferred here and like outside from my high school, from my hometown. So if you don't like the decision that you have made, nothing is really permanent in life, and you can always choose a different school. But I personally am very, very happy to have chosen this school. I think from what everybody has said, really, I think everyone just kind of sums it up. This is a really great place to study music, and I'm very grateful that I'm here.
Awesome.
So thank you so much, everyone. We are here as a resource. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate in reaching out. You are not a pest. You are not asking a silly question. That is exactly what we're here to do. And we know that this process can be long and arduous. So please, I know that Dr. TK is always available. If you want to take a demo lesson, contact the admission office. If you just have a question about, hey, something's wonky with my application, reach out. Don't hesitate. That's what we're here to do. I don't know if Robin has any last words of wisdom from the Bates house.
Nope, I would just encourage everybody to complete an application as soon as you can. Make sure you get all of your materials in, just because you will be getting that email with all the requirements. So it's really easy just to create a checklist, make sure you get everything in, and then just send us an email if you have any questions along the way.
Well, thank you so much, panelists and Dr. TK. This has actually been very enjoyable and fun. Thank you, attendees, for coming and spending some time with us as we just talked about everything Hartt. And hopefully we'll be seeing you in person next year. Have a good evening, everyone.